I think your bones were made in an elsewhere place. How else does one explain this inconceivable strength that makes you? The way you look into danger's mouth and see no cemetery or death. Instead, carve your name into its teeth with a switchblade. Defeat it so effortlessly and throw your head back and laugh. Paradox girl, mighty woman. You are the thing that terrifies them. Both monster and maiden, both cure and poison, all of these things, and at the same time human. Defined by no man, you are your own story, blazing through the world, turning history into her story. And when you dare to tell you about it, all the things you cannot be, you smile and tell them, I am both war and woman, and you cannot stop me.
Wow.
I am here with my badass friend, Deni McMillion with Wildflower Salon. That's a really aggressive, badass poem, so I just thought of you.
I'm flattered. Thank you. It's pretty awesome.
Well, entrepreneur, you're a musician. You've got a lot of awesome stuff going on, and I'm really excited for you to be here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, right?
Heck yeah. Well, I want to rewind a little bit. I love to hear about people's beginnings.
Okay.
So let's start with, where you grew up. Are you local to the area?
I actually grew up right on the border of North and South Carolina. I bounced around a lot of schools, but I ended up graduating from Clover High School in 1994. Came down to go to USC and met my ex, and he's from Chapin, and so we kind of settled in here, and I just really love it down here, and decided to make this my home.
So you're a Gamecock fan, obviously.
I am a total Gamecock girl.
Awesome. So I guess during your college years, were you starting to get into some of the, fashion or hair stuff that you're...
Interesting that you say that, because I actually went to journalism school with a major in advertising, and I had a double minor in marketing and management.
Wow.
And I had dabbled in theater all through high school. I mean, I'd done theater for about 10 years. And I really started getting into the theater makeup.
Yeah.
And so while I was in college, I actually befriended a drag queen. And he started showing me the ropes about hair and makeup and how to contour and little tips and tricks. And I just kind of really developed a passion for it, which then evolved in me getting part-time jobs working for Estee Lauder. I worked at the Victoria's Secret cosmetics store for a while, and I just really had that passion for it. Then I went into advertising, worked as a production manager for 3 years.
Yeah.
I really started missing being around the beauty business and the people in it. And lo and behold, out of nowhere, I got connected with Kenneth Schuler through my ex. And he was looking for a director of marketing for his schools. And I wanted to go to cosmetology school and try my hand at it. And we worked out a deal where I was able to go. So it just, the God's timing on all that was just impeccable, because I kind of fell into it, and it's, just been amazing. Haven't looked back.
Yeah, that's really interesting. You had some background in the business side of what you do now, some of the marketing and stuff. Do you feel like you were able to gain some knowledge way back when that you can put to use today?
Oh, absolutely. At first I didn't think I was going to use my degree. After I decided not to do advertising and go into the beauty business, I'm like, well, there goes, thousands upon thousands of dollars of student loans. But I found that, it has served me well in terms of knowing how to brand myself, how to reach people, the gift of gab, sales. And so it all kind of comes under that umbrella of the advertising and marketing education. So I'm very thankful for it.
Very cool. So have you worked in any salons prior to opening your own? Did you have any background in that?
I actually did work at it's Carmen Salon at Belk off Harbison. I started off there. They had a great training program, and I learned a lot. And then eventually I became the director of haircutting education for their training program. And I was there for about 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you did learn some of the ropes along the way at a previous place.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I got tons of education on, I got tons of hair education, And, I really learned a lot from my managers. I had several, and I learned a lot about, the responsibilities and duties and what it takes to actually run a salon.
Yeah.
And so it was a super valuable experience, and I still have nothing but amazing things to say about them.
Yeah, awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
And at some point, you must have had some sort of vision of your place now. When did those seeds get planted that you were going to go out on your own?
When I first started working at Carmen, I thought in 5 years, I'm just going to own my own place. Like, I've always wanted to be my own boss, but I stayed there, and I just found that, the timing wasn't right. And then I'd say probably about 2017, 2018, I just started really getting that hunger, because I feel like in my career, I kind of got as far as I could go where I was.
Yeah.
And I am a what's next kind of girl. What's next? I need that next big thing. And so, salon ownership kind of seemed like the next big thing. I wanted to create my own culture. I wanted to decide who I was going to work with. I wanted to create my own environment and, call it control freak, whatever. But I just really wanted to be in complete control and make the decisions on the type of environment that I was going to spend the rest of my career in.
Yeah, very cool. Well, you're a natural leader too, so,
Thank you.
The process of going out, can you talk a little bit about kind of making that jump? Because that's got to be a scary, a step to take.
Oh, so scary. It started where I was just driving by this particular location that had been vacant for about a year and a half. And I don't know, I'm not a super religious person, but I am very spiritual, and I just felt a nudge. Call it God, divine intervention, whatever you want, but something told me to turn in and start looking into this space, and I just knew as soon as I saw it. So I went home and I hashed it over with my ex-husband and said, how can we make this work? And I have to give him credit that he did kind of help me sit down and say, okay, well, this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
So we went to the bank, and I got an equity line, and I found a contractor, and and then through this whole networking thing that led me to BNI, I just started meeting the right people to kind of help me put it together. So I really went in not knowing what I was doing.
Right.
And I learned as I went, pick a couple of good mentors. I would advise anybody, some good mentors that know about business and building a business. But, it was something that friends and family and coworkers had always said, you need to open your own shop. You need to open your own business. You need to open your own business. And even though it was a desire deep down, it just didn't seem to really surface until around 2018, I would say.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the shop a little bit, because you have a very unique spot.
I love it. That's my home, away from home. Like, it's totally my happy place.
Yeah. And the environment in there feels very friendly. I mean, there's such a great culture. Can you tell us kind of how you were able to build that?
Well, like I said, I learned from experience and through education. I knew that I wanted to build a gang, my people, my gang. And I wanted a team of people that would love each other and support each other. So there were just a few things that I knew had to take place in order for me to make this successful. The first thing is, I tell all my employees, if I have to dread walking into my business that I run, that I pay for, whatever it is, whether it's you or if it's a light fixture, I don't care. It's got to go.
Yeah.
I want to be excited to walk through the doors of my business. There's no reason why I shouldn't.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, we don't do mean girls.
Right.
We don't. We're sisters. We're a tight-knit group. We're 5 stylists, and we got 2 front desk girls. If you got a problem, we're women, talk about it, but we're not doing the when they walk out of the room, we're all going to gather around and talk smack about them. That creates negativity. So I think really just staying hardcore rooted into that has created this vibe where I want all of our clients to come in and feel like they're hanging out with like the coolest girls around, and they're having fun and they're laughing, but they're getting amazing services.
Yeah, that's so interesting. It is a great atmosphere in there.
Thank you.
So you've done an awesome job. And the services you guys offer, what would be some of the, more unique things, or what kind of different about some of that?
Well, what's so different about us is that we really want to create a high-end experience with our stress relief treatments. It's a scalp, neck, and shoulder massage, hot towels for our men's haircuts. We offer a beverage, an adult beverage with your service.
Yeah.
We have a very strict dress code that keeps us very professional looking.
Yeah.
So you get this high-end experience, but in a very comfortable, cozy environment where you feel like you can relax, you can be yourself. And because I've been in high-end businesses or high-end salons and spas where it's almost stiff and rigid.
Yeah.
And I don't want that at all for my clients. I want them to come in and feel like, hey, I love all these girls. I'm going to have a great time for this next hour.
Yeah.
But you're going to get a killer service by the most educated, talented girls around.
Yeah, the experience. I mean, every business is trying to, figure out how to give the customer an awesome experience. You guys are doing a really good job of that.
They're great. All my girls are great.
Heck yeah. And how are we getting new customers at the door? What kind of strategies or tactics are you using?
Well, we're in the age of social media. When I first started in the business, I literally had an apartment guide. I drew a 2-mile radius around the shop that I was working at, and I went and handed out coupons.
Yeah.
I pounded the pavement. But now with social media, of course, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, those have all served us very well. But I've also, coming into the business, I befriended Mark Baker, and who then referred me to Marilyn Gray, who then referred me to Bill Danielson, and they were all part of BNI.
Yeah.
So they recruited me into BNI. It took 4 of them, and Jonathan Harlan came in and kind of swept the back, and they got me to join and really introduced me to an amazing group of people, and I've gotten a lot of new clients off of that as well.
So that network sounds like it's been a positive impact on.
Oh, yeah. Not just professionally, but personally. I'm going through a lot of transitions, and those closest to me know that I'm going through a lot of transitions in my life. And the people that I know through BNI, or being with BNI, has made this so much easier, rather than me having to hunt down attorneys, me having to hunt down insurance people, or landscaping guys, or whatever. It's all right there. So it's definitely made my personal life so much better, and as well as my professional life.
Very cool. Yeah, great community at EPN. So.
Oh, yeah, EPN's the best.
Let's talk a little bit about the band.
Okay.
And what projects you have going on right now.
So right now I'm in a band called Midnight Angel. We're a Pat Benatar tribute band. We're kind of on a little hiatus for the summer. We've got one guy he's a surgeon. He just opened up a practice.
Cool.
In another city, so he's very busy with that. And then we have another guy whose daughter's involved in sports, and so this is kind of sports season. So, kids are out of school and they're doing that stuff. So, But we're hoping to regroup within a month or so and get something going. But yeah, it's been great. And then there's a couple other projects I may be working on as well.
Very exciting. And where would you guys play? Like if you guys were to have a gig?
Well, we could play anywhere from, local bars in the Ballantyne, Irmo, Lexington area, but we've even done venues in Greer. There's a venue up there called the Spin and Jenny, and it's actually my favorite place to play because it's huge.
Yeah.
It's a big, big room and a great big stage, and it's really, really cool.
Awesome.
That's my favorite.
Well, I look forward to seeing you guys get back together.
Yeah, that would be great. We'd love to have you out.
Heck yeah. Riding bikes. How's the motorcycle hobby going?
I still have my motorcycle. It's a 2015 Victory Gunner.
Cool.
It's a big old cruiser, about 1,700 cc cruiser, so it's fast. I actually it's so funny how I got involved in riding. My dad was riding his motorcycle. He started off with a Honda and then eventually got a Harley Davidson Fat Boy. But anyway, he really wanted something we could do together because we're very close. And he calls me up one day. He's like, I'm getting you a motorcycle for Christmas. Dad, I don't know how to ride a motorcycle. He's like, well, you better go to Midlands Tech and learn. Wow. Love you. Click. So a few weeks later, I got a Yamaha V-Star 650, little white motorcycle. And I took my class and I got my motorcycle license, and it's taken me on a crazy journey ever since. So met a lot of people, done a lot of cool rides, benefits, became very seasoned and very skilled. And so...
You're fearless. Fearless is the word.
I don't know if it's fearless or just crazy. Just constantly got to have something.
Awesome. Well, where can people find your studio or shop?
We are located at 1720 Dutch Fork Road, Irmo. We're in Suite E. And we're right there located in a Ballantyne Village Shopping Center right by the post office over there. And there's Capital Kitchen and Bath and Exit Realty. So you can find us there. We also have Instagram page, imarealwildflower. And we're also on Facebook, Wildflower Salon. It's 2 words, Wildflower. And then you can find me on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
This has been awesome. So thank you.
Always awesome. Thank you, Ray.